If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
And the Baltimore Sports Media Superstar Competition. Go for it, buddy.
Thank you, Nestor. You know, I was contemplating the other night when I was at home, sitting here thinking about this competition and saying, you know, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about that I think is important or whatever? And a lot of things went through my mind. I, was thinking about, we're only 3 weeks away from the Olympics, and, Michael Phelps' last hurrah there. We'll go through that. And I was thinking about something that I'm involved with a lot is a lot of the youth sports around here and how it's changed in our life, since I was a kid and to what it is right now. And, you can always go about with the Ravens. And then it came over me when that storm came in on Friday night. And, I really didn't have any touch with reality until about today, is that with the Orioles, it was what I wanted to talk about. Because I'm a huge baseball fan, one. And I just love, the game as it is. Baseball is an interesting game to me because in 162 games, you pretty much weed out the pretenders and the contenders. Although I think 162 games is a little many. I wish they'd go back to about 150 and end it by September 1st. It still gets the point across here. With the Orioles right now, as I wrote in my blog a little earlier, last week, is it the beginning of the end? I personally right now think there are some numbers and things that are very disturbing to me. The number of errors the Orioles have come out with, they're at 70 right now, so they're on pace to do somewhere in about 140 errors for the year. Compared to what the Yankees are doing at this point, as being the first place Yankees, they right now have a total of 36 errors, 70 for the year. When it really comes down to it, if you really think of it as real game mentality, the Orioles are giving up about somewhere between a third and a half another out per game. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you add it into 162 games, that's a lot of extra outs that they are giving to the teams. Really, when it comes down to it, it's really the corners. I mean, you look at what they have at third base and first base is pretty not good. These guys are not real first basemen or real third basemen. Up the middle, they're fine, and that's where you want to be. You've got Wieters a catcher. You've got Hardy and Roberts, who are good at shortstop and second base. And then in center field's Adam Jones. But I will have to say, has anybody else here noticed that Adam Jones has lost a little focus since he signed that big contract? A couple of those errors he's had are just unacceptable type of errors. With the pitching, right now their ERA is right at the average, 4.03, which is great. It's right smack. In fact, it's exactly the average of the American League is 4.03. But if you look at it more in depthly, it's real that ERA is coming directly from the relievers. Other than Wei Chen and other than Hamill, the other starters have averaged they have like 5 or 6 ERAs. Can't be done, and what that's going to do is make the relievers pitch more innings. Offensively, it's abominable at this point. I was looking through the lineup last night, and all right, you got Jones at 298 at this point, but Jones, other than Jones, and yeah, you'll put Chris Davis in there. There's nobody in that lineup with over a 245 batting average. That's unacceptable. And with Adam Jones as your number 4 hitter, with 19 home runs, he only has 42 RBIs. 42 RBIs. To me, that's telling you the 1, 2, and 3 batters in the lineup aren't getting on. I don't know. Does it come down to chemistry? Is it just because the players aren't what they are? Listen, the Orioles were in last place this year. I don't think anybody was expecting them to be going to first place. But when it comes down to it, when I was looking at other teams that have done that, namely the 91 Atlanta Braves or the 87 Minnesota Twins, those teams, as history will present itself, had talent on those teams. A lot of really good talent. You look at the Braves, you look at the starting pitchers with the Glavins and the Smoltz. You also look at the Minnesota Twins with the Kirby Pucketts, the Frank Violas, and et cetera, et cetera. What do we have on this team that can rank to that can move us to that level? I'm not 100% sure. It looks like when we bring up the Dylan Bundys or the Manny Machados, they're going to be there, but we can't say for sure. You know, the Orioles right now, I'm not about the improvement part. Improvement's wonderful, but when it really comes down to it, it's about winning and losing. There are winners and losers. This isn't youth sports. Nobody gets a trophy all the time for just performing or just being there. You either win or you lose. It is very simple that way. I think offensively they need to do what Duquette has done with the pitching staff. We got a good relief corps. What he did in the offseason I liked. He signed just about everybody who was signable, threw them all up against the wall, and see what stuck. At that point, he got himself some good ones. You got the Pedro Strobes. You know, you got the Matt Lindstroms. You got the Jim Johnsons. All these guys are up there. They're very good in that way. But as far as offensively, that's what I think they should do. There's a bunch of these guys that are in here that are all the same. I mean, they trade for Jim Thome, which is nice. Jim Thome's a nice player. But basically, he gives you the same thing that Davis does. He gives you the same thing that Wieters does and Betterman does. You have 4 guys in that line, 4 guys of the 25-man roster who basically can't play defense. They're DHs, glorified DHs. What do? I've said from the start that you just bring people up from the minor leagues, throw them in there, roll them in, roll them out until somebody sticks. If you like any of the stuff that I've been doing here on my blog, please go to the blog site on WNST.net. Go down past all the pretty faces until you see the one without any into the bar stool. You'll see Robert Testoni there. I've been writing a little stuff now. It's going to get a little more upbeat at this point. We're going to start talking. I've got a really good blog about youth sports that I've been working on and trying to make it perfect for you all to read. If you like it, please, or you don't like it, write a comment for me. Thank you for your time. I'm Robert Testoni on WNST.net.
Good job, Rob. Well done, well played. You are the final contestant here on the pre-holiday edition of WNST and the Baltimore Sports Media Superstar Competition, brought to you by Hooters. My thanks to all the contestants, 8 people. It will all be up in the video area at WNS TV at some point tomorrow on the 4th of July. I wish every one of you a safe, wonderful holiday, and drive safely wherever you are. And don't drink and drive, and don't be a fool. And get back here on Thursday as we continue the competition. It's one of these weird midweek special holidays. So enjoy the 4th, wave your flag, and enjoy the fireworks. Don't get mosquito bites, for crying out loud, all right?
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.